Hey, how's everybody doing? Good evening. Welcome to Astrology Throwdown tonight. Yes, I am giddy and I'm really excited because all of these amazing things are happening even though I'm being quarantined permanently as a healthy person forever. I'm still having a really exciting life. Why am I saying that? Because I have been watching Elvis Costello's YouTube channel like a hawk, and all of these incredible things keep happening there. And I'm really happy to say that the most amazing version imaginable, subtle, understated, perfect, greatest version ever of here, there, and everywhere just mysteriously showed up on Elvis's YouTube page. And I've been listening to it all day and I love it. It's my new favorite song by far. So good. Love it. I'm thrilled. Okay. And we threw some stones. What is that? Sounds like a bad thing, doesn't it? Maybe it isn't. Okay. So I make this gorgeous jewelry and it's full of the good vibes that are flowing here. And then I found the most beautiful box I could find anywhere. And then I put the jewelry in the most beautiful velvet box I could find. And I intricately wrap it up in Reynolds wrap. Aluminum foil. I love it. I just love aluminum foil. It's so beautiful. It's so shiny. Anyway, and it's so wrinkly. I like that it's wrinkly. So I carefully wrap it up in aluminum foil. And then I haven't ironed the ribbon. This is a ridiculous process. And I even came up with an imperial tea seal to put on it so you know it's for me. Okay? So I make a really big deal about this throwing stones campaign. And then we carefully place the gift down somewhere in front of a live cam. There's a few live cams. And then there's a whole intricate contract and story and personalized documents. It's really funny. It's just so over the top. Okay. And then we just leave it somewhere in front of a live cam. Then we watch what happens. Okay. What happens? What happened today? Interesting things happen. So cool doing it this way. Okay. So apparently there was a woman and her child, and they picked it up and they put it back and they went on with their day. And then this looked like an octogenarian in a lavender shirt, like a real Hamptons guy. He sat down with it. He read it. He inspected it. You could tell it was somebody from Manhattan, and he was figuring it out. He was going to figure out what this was. It was really funny to watch. We're going to put the video up. It's going to be awesome. Okay? So he studies it. And then he gets up and he doesn't know what to do. It's like a Samuel Beckett play. It's really cool. He doesn't know what to do. He knows he's found something very precious. He can't leave it. But maybe he doesn't have a woman to give it to or something. Or maybe he's perplexed. Anyway, so we're going to put this up. This is the greatest piece of drama probably that's ever happened in the history of the world. And it's going to appear soon on the blog, where this very, very sophisticated man in a lavender shirt is in a quandary. And after much hesitating and considering and stress and wondering what to do, he did eventually walk off with it. That's what's really fun. Just the way people are. Anyway, that was really fun. And so greatest, I just love that beautiful version of Here, There, and Everywhere. And on top of that, I feel so spoiled. I got to see Elvis buy the plaque of the photographer who took the King of America photo that I love. I love that picture. I've always loved that picture. It's so good. It's so, so good, and I was so happy to find out. I have heard that somewhere, but I was so happy to see the photographer get the credit for the wonderful work that he did. That took a lot of skill to take such a beautiful photograph, and it is a legendary photograph, and I love having it on the blog. It's like I love seeing it there all the time. So it's wonderful to honor Terrence Donovan. That was really nice. I love how Elvis always loves to give people credit. That's one of my favorite things about him. He's so thoughtful. It's it's a really beautiful quality. And the other thing that's been blowing me away that I've been doing all day is studying George Ivan Van Morrison's charts, only giving me more appreciation for him and his it says a lot about him looking at his chart. And I truly do believe I do feel connected to him. I do, absolutely. That's that's always, there's a connection for sure. But looking at the charts, it's like, whoa, there's a destined thing here. It's very obvious. It's very, very obvious. Because George Ivan's son is not really making aspects with anything. So he's so famous. He's so hugely famous, but he's not famous like other people are famous, just like me. Um, it's a weird fame. He has a weird fame. He doesn't really like to be a part of that whole system, and he shies away from it. He just wants to do his shows, and he really does have this very defiant attitude about his fame. So maybe that is a good explanation, but he's also very successful. And you see the success of George Ivan in his Jupiter aspects. He's lucky. He's really lucky. He has a Jupiter sextile Venus, I believe. I have the synastry chart in front of me. I've been looking at our synastry because I do feel he asked me to do that, and I thought that was so funny. I just, I do have the utmost admiration, and like I said, just more and more because when you look at a person's chart, like we should like read everybody's chart. We should read like John Podesta's chart. We should, like we'll have more empathy for them, but still they can't be killing everybody. Do you understand? But it would be interesting to study them too, because we know so much about them. We could find out more. I would love to do that. We should do that. I was thinking that we could like read John Podesta's chart and just Mr. Capricorn, right? There's the Capricorn. Oh my goodness, Capricorn for days. So, and the other thing that's so interesting about reading the charts of our enemies is that the energies can go evil or good, all of them. Saturn is viewed as so malefic, but you need Saturn to get anything done. So it's not malefic. It's how you deal with it. What's malefic about work? What's malefic about paying your dues? Nothing really. It's just okay. It makes you tougher. It's not bad. But then Saturn on the evil side, whoa, that's slavery. That's the stuff those guys do. But we can have a very positive attitude about Saturn, get a lot done. So it's exciting to have astrology move its alignment to a lot more positivity. We're way, 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 way too in the dark because astrology's been under the control of the dark side. So we just can all just like walk on over to the better side and be happier. It's time for us to do that. It's very exciting because it is happening. I can see it happening. Okay, so so this is what's so crazy. All you see in his sun is him and Juno, the sun and Juno. He's the sun. He's a famous man. He's a Virgo. He does work methodically and carefully and all that. And he's tough on himself. You can see that he has all that Virgo to him. He's you can tell he's never satisfied, and you can see that Virgo there. but it's just him and Juno, you know. So this is somebody who has a lot of Venus. I think Juno is a very feminine, loving, soft, deeply committed energy. It's not a groupie, it's a wife, you know. So Juno, exactly. So he really wants to be married. That's so sad. I Anyway, and if you look at him, if you match his Juno and Sun, it like matches up perfectly to mine, and it's all of our luck is intertwined. And look at it, it's crazy. It's really crazy. It's that like as soon as I looked at it, I was like, oh my goodness, what is that? Um, so we're very there's something very tied up. There's a great destiny here. I can see that very obviously. And my son, I keep saying I have this seventh house big shot. It's not me, it's someone else. It has to be a media big shot, something to do with, power and Scorpio and secrets and all this stuff. Obviously, secret societies is everything around music. And I've got all these secret society echelon big shots in my head. It's really funny. But the chart is showing it. That's why I like astrology so much. It's like, it's just the truth. And then what's in that big shot zone of mine? It's uh, George Ivan's Vesta, his devotion, Sarah's his nurturing, and Black Moon Lilith, his like badass activism. That's what he's bringing to my, and that's right where my Uranus is right there in that zone. Okay, so and it's in a place of Virgo, and that's right next to his Black Moon Lilith, Vesta, and Ceres. It's right next to my Uranus in Libra. Okay, are in a place of Virgo, the sixth house. He's Virgo. So there's you look for the patterns, and the patterns start to tell you this is what we're telling you. It's really interesting. So eccentricity abounds with us. We're about as weird as it gets. Okay, so, and he is so devoted and he is so sincere. That's what we just love so much about him, his sincerity. And there it is. He's bringing it to my big shot weirdo zone. It's really interesting. It's incredible. And his Palace Athena is right there. He fights just war through art. And he does, and he always has. I could do this all day long. The chart is really it's really reflecting what's happening. It's so incredible. And I just wow, for the people who are like willing to do their hero's journey and accept their fate and all this stuff like we're doing, it's really interesting. Oh my goodness. I'm so blown away right now. So I went through everything to do with George Ivan's stellium. I focused in on one little tiny area because the whole thing is it's endless. It's just one giant stellium to me. And I went into this very little tight grouping in Libra that George Ivan has between Jupiter, Chiron, and Neptune. Okay, so this is a world healer because Jupiter is the world and it's philosophical, it's spiritual, it's very ethereal, it's very high-minded. Okay, so this is how he is. He's really thinking about heaven. He wants to be in heaven. He doesn't even really want to be here, obviously. So Jupiter, okay, but it's with Neptune. Oh my goodness, and then Chiron. So he wants to heal, the healing game. He wants to heal and he is a paladin. I just don't want him to ever think I'm kidding around with him. I'm not. I only take him seriously. But this is such a healer, and it's in the fifth house, so it's a grandiose, great healer who's like a Leo, lion, resplendent, and creative, and warm, and nurturing, and likes to be first, but it is willing to share also. A very wonderful, warm Leo energy, and it's in Libra, so it's so attractive. So it's so seductive, so appealing. So that's so him. And then he has a lot of really interesting aspects Okay, so he's got this stellium. Look at that as one Jupiter, super Pluto. I said Pluto, I meant Neptune. Neptune, Chiron, healer, saint, like a saint, really. Okay, big saint. Who's a grandiose big, he's a saint. That's what that's saying. Anyway, so he has these, this positive relationship the saint is having. That's a stellium of Jupiter, Neptune, and Chiron. I think is a saint. And then Pallas Athena is like right there. So ready to fight. A saint who's ready to fight. That's so nice. Anyway, and then he's having to deal in a favorable way with Pluto. Okay, Pluto, Venus, and Saturn. Okay, so pretty much that's another little bunch up. Okay, and they have to deal with each other. Okay, so you have this like resplendent Saint Jupiter over there who really does want to help people very much, like a lot. And then this interaction with Pluto. Pluto's death. Don't mess with Pluto, but sometimes you need Pluto. And Venus, beautiful art. Saturn, hard work and delays and just frustration, insecurity. Okay, that's a hard energy, but you need a lot of it to get somewhere. And this is somebody who works. He works. He does. He's a hard worker. So he's a worker, he's an artist, and he's transformative. And he's a saint on this other end with the sextile. So I'm trying to look at that as almost one planet. Okay, so think about that. Love, transformation, and work. Okay, what does that mean? Okay, it's a lot of pain, a lot of heartache, and a lot of work. That's sad, but this is a saint with a lot of heartache. I know, we see that. Okay, we gotta love him. We gotta give him that love because he is a good man. We need to support him. Yeah, and he does want to be understood, and we just should. I think we should just be 100% behind him. He just wants to sing. This is unbelievable. The position he's in. This has to end. Seriously. I mean, just think about that. I mean, I don't even get me started. Don't get me started, right? But someone like Van Morrison, I really feel that. Like, we should be bringing flowers to his feet. We should be doing his nails. We should just be thanking him all the time for the songs he gave us. He shouldn't have to fight like this. Think about, don't even think about me. Think about him. The songs he's given us. I mean, I love that song. Oh my goodness, everyone. Oh, I love that song. I should put that song up every day. I love that song. The songs he's given us. Anyway, he's a wonderful man. I could go on and on and on, but I put on all the aspects that pertain to this Jupiter aspect. And I wrote them all out so anybody can read them and see how it does describe him. He's a beautiful artist. Whatever he's done, he's a good man. He's done the right thing to the best of his abilities. So he really is a saint. And he should be respected for that. And the abuse that he got is an aspect of his sainthood. And I just want things to be turned right side up. Van Morrison's the good guy. The bad guy is the banker in England who's trying to kill everybody. And Van Morrison should be having a very easy, pleasant life for what he's done for us. He stood up for us his whole career. Respect, okay? Okay, enough of that. We'll keep studying the intricacies of George Ivan's chart. Turns out he's a saint. Obviously, he's a saint, okay? But it's right there. He is a saint. He has a destiny. He is on his path. And I just hope we can just encourage him as much as we can. Keep him going because he's so sensitive. And he just wants to help. If that's not clear by now, he just wants to help us and himself. He's really on the right page. And he's really very much on the right path from what I can tell. So here we have another letter from Napoleon to Josephine where he's being subverted because he loves to win. Oof, I don't know if only loved to win. And they sucked him into these wars because he loved to win. But if Napoleon had been smarter, he would have not played their game. So he did play their game. So if you play their game, they win. It's that simple. You can never play their game, ever. That's how you win, okay? Expose them and then don't play their game. Anything where they suck you in, they win. Okay? It's that simple. These are simple beings, okay? We can beat them. Let's continue. I have been, my dear Josephine, more tired than you could think. A whole week soaked with rain all day long and feet cold. It has made me a little ill, but today, when I haven't gone out at all, has rested me. I have carried out my plans. I have destroyed the Austrian army simply by marchings. I have made 60,000 prisoners, taken 120 artillery pieces, over 90 flags, and over 30 generals. I am going to move against the Russians. They're lost. I'm satisfied with my army. I have not lost over 1,500 men. Adieu, my Josephine. 1,000 pleasant remembrances to everybody. Prince Charles goes to cover Vienna. I think that Messina should at this moment be in front of Vienna. As soon as I shall be at liberty to deal with Italy, I shall have Ushenko into action. 1,000 pleasant remembrances to Hortense, Napoleon. Okay? Yes. Yes, that's how he was. He loved to win. That was his favorite thing. Very focused on winning. So, let's continue with the amazing, beautifully written, what a poet, unbelievable. And now we're going to find out about the amazing guitar learning process of Elvis Costello, one of the greatest musicians. And I see all kinds of incredible things happening with his guitar playing that are really exciting to see. I love it. I love everything. Everything that's happening is exciting to me. So let's continue about the musical ideas that were dawning to young Declan Elvis. Let's continue. Suddenly, I realized I could play I've Just Seen a Face by Lennon and McCartney, and Lennon's I'm a Loser. I bought cheap beginner songbooks that offered simplified chords that were satisfying for a while until I became fluent enough with the chord changes and my ear began to find these harmonic simplifications wanting. I went to the sheet music racks and snuck a look at diagrams of major sevenths, minor sixths, and even diminished chords that were to be found in some of the more expensive complete musical editions of the Beatles songs. I ran home and scribbled those shapes down from memory and found them on the guitar. The missing parts of the harmony fell into place. Still, there were songs that I could never imagine replicating. Songs that must have taken an entire orchestra to play. Tight, swinging, finger-snapping songs on the pale brown Tamil label. One Friday evening, local hero Dusty Springfield had acted as the host of a special edition of the required weekend viewing Ready, Steady, Go, dedicated to what is now called the Motown sound. To us, it was always Tamla. Thinking back, all of these acts were probably lip syncing, but next to the graceless, self-conscious awkwardness of most English acts, the Motown performers were astonishing in their dress sense, choreography, and the way they delivered their songs. From then on, I bought everything on that label that I could afford. Those records must have been beyond mere mortals. Even though my father brought home the Four Topses, Reach Out, I'll Be There to Learn, I could never imagine myself playing the songs on one guitar. Levi Stubbs sounded as if he were of the earth or possibly hewn from rock, but the edge of desperation in his voice was beyond ordinary experience. What kind of Bernadette drove him to such despair? Probably not a little Irish girl with a hair side on whose knee I foolishly rested my hand during a date to the cinema to see something inane like a rerun of That Darn Cat. Marvin Gaye surely never had these problems. I couldn't connect what I was doing in my bedroom on a guitar with a record like You Ain't Livin' Till You're Lovin'. I could not decode that arrangement any more than I could sing in such a supernatural fashion. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope you have a very wonderful evening.